Hi and welcome to SmartBook. I will give you a quick tour so that you can take advantage of all the features of SmartBook. In this demo I will describe how to set up the parameters for sales orders. To perform this task you will first need to navigate to the Number Sequences tab of the company profile screen. To proceed to the screen, follow the navigation. Once you log into the system you will be navigated to the home page of SmartBook. The side menu over here provides you easy navigation to all the settings of your SmartBook account. Click this button over here and the following menu will be displayed. Click the company profile menu item in the side menu. The following form will then be displayed. Click the setup side menu item. You will be navigated to this screen. Click the Number Sequences tab. You can select whether the invoice number should be auto-generated and enter the format of the invoice number through this screen. The invoice number is not set to be auto-generated initially. Follow the steps listed to automate the invoice number generation process and format. The number sequence active column of the invoice row is selected as false by default, setting the invoice number to be entered manually when invoicing a sales order. Tick the checkbox over here to automatically generate the invoice number. Click the Save button on top of the grid to save the changes. This will then be changed as true. A number sequence next invoice number will then be generated each time a sales order is invoiced. Enter the following details into the row of the invoice in the grid to set up the format of the invoice number, which will now be auto-generated. Enter the minimum value of the sequence. Enter the maximum value of the sequence. Next value is automatically generated according to the sequence. This cannot be modified. Enter a required prefix. Enter a required suffix. Enter the length of the invoice number, should be the number of digits in the maximum length plus the number of characters in prefix plus the number of characters in suffix. Enter the step in which the sequence is incremented. The details entered into the grid will only be applied if the number is automatically generated as a sequence. Click the Save button on top of the grid to save the changes. Now we will consider setting up the payment ID details. Follow the navigation to automate the payment ID generation process. The parameter details of the company will be displayed in the Parameters tab of the Setup menu item. Manual payment ID is selected as true by default. Then the payment ID will need to be entered when a sales order is being invoiced. If required to automatically generate the payment ID, select the value false from the Manual Payment ID drop-down list. Click the Update button over here to save all the changes made in all tabs. Click the Cancel button to cancel the changes made. If you select to automate the payment ID generation process, please make sure to define the format of the payment ID through the Payment ID tab over here. This is mandatory as the payment ID cannot be generated till the required format is defined. This is described in detail in the Payment ID demo. Thank you for watching this demonstration.